Look at me. Do I look like I'm prepared to be on camera? I didn't even comb my hair for 2 days. Anyway, I hope you're keeping up with the lessons. You shouldn't be watching this lesson until you've watched the other two. Today we're going to, bedhead, pajamas. Today we're going to multiply, which is what we really did in the last chapter. So it should be a nice, easy lesson, except there are some twists to it. Okay, remember, when you have exponents and you're multiplying, you're adding 6x squared times negative 3x to the fifth. You take 6 times negative 3. We just did this. Negative 18. X to the second, x to the fifth is x to the seventh. Why isn't it x to the 10th? Because there's only 2 x's here, and there's only 5 here. That is what x to the 7th means. 7, x times itself, 7 times. Okay, so this is all kind of review. Oh, what a mess. And I do want to go over the distributive property. 6 times 3x cubed minus x squared minus 5. Now remember, these are not like terms from the last 2 lessons. So we're just going to multiply. 6 times 3 is 18. 6 times x cubed is x cubed. Minus 6x squared minus 30. That's the final answer, and it is in the correct order. I don't know why this is making such a mess. Okay, a binomial times a binomial. I want to make sure I get to that. Now, a lot of people like to call this FOIL, first, outer, inner, last. But it's not really a good way to memorize it, because if you have a binomial times a trinomial, then it's no longer FOIL, because that only works for binomial times binomial. Let me show you what I'm talking about. X plus 2, x minus 7. Now, I'll show you the FOIL thing because all your upper teachers do. First, in each binomial, x squared, outer, negative 7x, inner, positive 2x, last, negative 14, and then you have like terms, x squared minus 5x minus 14. Now you should pause that and look at it for a minute because I'm going fast to get my 14 minutes in. But let me talk to you about what you really are doing here. Here, x plus 7, x minus 5. Is you're taking the distributive property with the first term twice. That's x times x times negative 5. Then you're using the distributive property with 7. Positive 7x, negative 35. Then you have like terms in the middle, x squared, positive 2x, minus 35. It is extremely important that you can do a binomial times a binomial. We're probably going to do 500 of them in the next 2 months. I know I look ridiculous in this hat, but what can I say? I didn't take a shower yet. Okay, now I want to do a binomial times a trinomial. All you're doing is the distributive property with the x and then with the 3. So, x cubed, right, x, negative 4x squared, 2x. Now we're going to do it with the 3. Plus 3x squared minus 12x plus 6. Then look for like terms. We only have one x cubed. We have a negative 4x squared and a positive 3x squared. That's negative 1x squared. We have 2x and 12x, that's 14x, and a 6. And I believe I made a mistake. I did. Oh, what did I do wrong? Negative 12x. Oh, I didn't see the negative. That's my bad. You should use it on paper that you can write across, okay? So that you don't have two lines. That's negative 12 and positive 2. That's negative 10x. And by the way, I know I had a mistake on the video yesterday. Bryce Burke, way to go. Jolly Rancher for you. And nobody else needs to tell me. And you ought to find it. Okay, let's do area of a rectangle. Let's say we have x minus 4 and x plus 5. And we want to find the area. Now the perimeters add 4 sides. The area is length times width. So, probably ought to have it the other way around, because the width is shorter. Anyway, length times width. X plus 5, x minus 4. Use a distributive property with x. X squared minus 4x plus 5x minus 20. Add like terms. Plus x minus 20. That is the area of the rectangle. Square units. I think I have more time for another example. How about, oh, yeah. If I have one of these, don't square that and square that. The biggest error is this. That is so wrong because x plus 3 times x plus 3 does not give you that. It gives you x squared plus 3x plus 3x plus 9, x squared plus 6x plus 9. That is not the same answer. You're going to miss the middle term if you take the shortcut and just square both of those. Don't do that. And about 50 of you will do that on the first quiz. And I'm going to probably have you watch this video again if you do. Okay. I think I'll give you one more. 3x minus 6, 3x plus 6. You're going to find out this is called something special, but let's just go ahead and do it. 3 times 3 is 9. X times x is x squared. 6 times 3 is 18. X negative 18x minus 36. Our like terms cancel out. They're equal to 0. So we end up with 9x squared minus 36, which is something you'll find out later is called the difference of two perfect squares. All right, let me look at the time. Looks like I got plenty of time. I'm going to look at the homework. And do the first one with you. The first one is x plus 5 to the second power. Just went over this. X plus 5 times x plus 5 is x squared plus 5x plus 5x plus 25. Binomial times binomial will give you 4 terms, and then you add like terms, so it might cancel out, might not. In this case, we get 10x 25. How about I put one on here and you pause me, try it, and see if you get it right. Well, I'll do number 2. M plus 2, m squared minus 2m plus 4. This time I'm going to write smaller so I can get it all in and not make a dumb mistake. Okay, we're going to take everything times m first. M cubed minus 2m squared plus 4m plus 2m squared minus 4m plus 8. Like terms, there's only one of those. We have negative 2m squared, positive 2m squared, gone. We have 4m, negative 4m, gone, plus 8. That's the final answer. I didn't expect that. Okay. And, oh, yeah. Let's do one with just one number on the outside, one term, I should say. X cubed minus 4x squared plus 3x minus 2. Okay, distributive property 4 times. Negative 5x times x cubed, negative 5x to the 4th. Negative 5, negative 4, positive 20. X times x squared is x cubed. Negative 5 times positive 3, negative 15. X times x, x squared. Negative 5 times negative 2, positive 10. X times no x is just x. No like terms. And that was number 7 on your homework. Nope. Yes, it was. It was number 7. Okay, and then finding the area of a rectangle. You know how to do that and rewind if you don't. And then I put on 2 where you have to add again, because I don't want you to forget how to add after you learn how to multiply. But this is kind of review, except for the distributive property part. You did learn how to multiply terms that have exponents. Remember the rule. A to the n times a to the m, a to the n plus m. And if there's a coefficient, you just multiply them. What I just said was 6x to the 3rd times 4x squared, okay, is 6 times 4 is 24, and the bases are x, and you add, not multiply, the exponents. If you were adding those, you would have to say, I'm done, because there's no like terms. You can only add if the exponents are identical. I know I flew through that, but I want you to do 7C, and be ready Monday to go over all this, and perhaps we'll learn how to divide, and then we'll have all 4 operations done before we move on. Now keep in mind, I noticed not everybody watched the videos yet. If you don't watch the videos, you're going to be lost, because we're going to move on to division Monday, and this is not something you want to get lost doing, because we're going to be doing quadratics, and quadratics is the hardest thing in math for most algebra students, and you can't do it if you can't do these simple adding and multiplying, subtracting and dividing. Okay? Have a great weekend. Please get all 3 worksheets done, A through C.